Welcome to FlexInglesOnline.com, Video Aula 6-2, Verbs and Vocabulary Have and Understand. Lesson Objectives: Expansion of vocabulary. Using and conjugating the verbs to understand and to have in the present tense. And learn new English expressions. During this lesson we will first start off with a brief overview of the way you conjugate both of these verbs in the present tense. Second, we're going to look at the main forms in which each verb is utilized. And third, we'll quickly review what we've learned. That you are aware how to conjugate both to have and to understand in the present tense. Ready? Let's get to it. Part 1. Grammar, conjugating the verb to have and to understand. The verb to understand is a regular verb. So if you have questions on how to conjugate regular verbs in English, go back to Flex Lessons 3-3 and 5-0. So, let's look at the verb to have in its present forms together. Part 1. Conjugating the verb to have in the present. To have, ter, possuir. So, here we're going to conjugate the verb to have in the present for an affirmative sentence and for an interrogative sentence. We'll use the word problems to complete the sentence. So here we have the first person, primera pessoa, singular and plural. So let's start on the first line. I have problems. The verb always in the infinitive. Plural, we have problems. When asking a question in interrogative form, then we have, do I have problems? Or in the plural, do we have problems? If we move to the second person, stays the same. The verb is always in the infinitive. So, you have problems. In the plural, you have problems, or you all have problems. Quando movemos para uma interrogativa, uma interrogação, then we have, do you have problems? Or, do you all have problems? And the verb, always in the infinitive. Always have, sempre have. In the third person, that's when the verb to have becomes irregular. Então, na terceira pessoa é quando o verbo to have se torna irregular. So, it has two formats. Has and have. Então, tem dois formatos. Has and have. So, in the singular, we have he or she has problems. He or she has problems. For objects or it, we're going to use it has problems. It has problems. But in the plural of the third person, it goes back to have. So plural, they have problems. They have problems, or the computers have problems. Ainda no infinitivo. When asking questions, however, porém quando fazendo perguntas, we have the verb always, again in the infinitive, na terceira pessoa do plural, in the third person of the plural. So he or she have problems. So does he or she have problems? Does it have problems? Or do they have problems? Or do the computers have problems? So the verb always in the infinitive. O verbo sempre no infinitivo have. Então, a única ocasião em que o verbo to have é usado no formato irregular has é na terceira pessoa singular e para objeto singular, obviamente. So, he or she has, it has, or the computer has. Legal? So now a cheat sheet for this rule. First and second person and all plurals and questions, we always use have. Always. Third person, singular, affirmative, we always use has. Never forget. Note, when combined with a different verb, the conjugation of the verb to have follows the same conjugation shown previously, and we always add to in between the two verbs. In the course of this lesson, we'll see examples with the verb to understand next to the verb to have and more. Part 2. The functions of to have and to understand. To have, ter, to understand, entender. Let's first look at the functions of to have. You can have things and objects. You can have thoughts and feelings. You can have a duty, an urge, a desire, an obligation. And you can have also characteristics. Now, to understand. The verb to understand is a bit simpler. You can really only understand concepts and ideas and people. So you can understand concepts and ideas and people. So, let's look at the following sentences and see if we identify the type or function of both verbs. Let's get to it. So what function are the verbs to have and to understand playing in the sentence below? You understand German. German, alemão. So the function of understand is to understand concepts, ideas, and subjects. A função do understand, nesse caso, entendendo conceitos, ideias e assuntos. O assunto alemão, a língua, a linguagem. Okay? Let's go to the next example. Every person has to understand English. Every person has to understand English. Every, cada, toda, and to have, obligation, a duty, dever, uma obrigação. It's an obligation, a duty that every person has to understand English. And understand has the function of understanding concepts, ideas, subjects, the subject of English, o assunto de inglês, a língua inglesa. Sorry, I don't have time to eat at the table. Like you, I have to go to work too. Sorry, I don't have time to eat at the table. Like you, I have to go to work too. Time, tempo. To, também. Have, nesse caso, things, abstract in this case. The second have, an obligation, dever. I have to go to work. Eu tenho uma obrigação de ir trabalhar também. Alright? He also has a meeting where you want to have yours. Do you understand why you have to schedule your meeting to a different location? He also has a meeting where you want to have yours. Do you understand why you have to schedule your meeting to a different location? Where? Onde ou aonde? Also, também. So have, right here, he also has, is in the sense of things. Ter. Again, abstract. The second one, where you want to have yours, is also in the sense of things. So abstract again. The third have, it's in the sense of an obligation. Do you understand why you have, né? Você tem que reschedule or schedule a meeting to a different location. And understand, nesse caso, do you understand why? Você entende o porquê? So again, is a concept, is an idea, and it's a subject. It's a fact. And the last have, do you understand why you have to schedule a meeting to a different location? It's an obligation, a duty. All right? Where does she want to have her party this weekend? Where does she want to have her party this weekend? Where, again, aonde? And to have, in this case, again, things. To have things. Some people don't understand my Chinese. Maybe I have to speak it slowly. Some people don't understand my Chinese. Maybe I have to speak it slowly. Some. Alguns, algumas, algum. Chinese, chinês. And understand, in this situation, understand, concepts, ideas, and subjects, the subject of the Chinese language. And to have, maybe I have to speak it slowly, maybe it's an obligation, maybe eu devo falar mais devagar, okay? The table has a weird collar. The table has a weird collar. Aquela mesa tem uma cor estranha. So, table, mesa. Weird, weird. Estranho, estranha. So to have, in this case, is for a characteristic. For a characteristic. The characteristic of the table is of a weird color. And now, I have a terrible headache. I have a terrible headache. Terrible, terrível. Headache, dor de cabeça. So have, in this situation, is used as feelings. I have the feeling of a headache. I have a sensação de uma headache. Can you understand him? I can't. Can you understand him? I can't. So understand in this case, understanding people. People who? Him. Entendendo ele. So can you understand him? No, I can't. Part 3. Review. Alright, folks. Here's what we've learned. First, we learned how to conjugate to have and to understand in the present tense. Second, we learned all the forms with which we can use to have and understand plus the vocabulary. And now, you should take the quizzes to which the links are below the video. Obrigado por assistir essa videoaula de inglês. Se você está assistindo essa videoaula no YouTube, o link para o teste da lição se encontra na descrição desse vídeo. E para você, que é estudante da FlexInglesOnline.com, o link do quiz está logo abaixo do vídeo, assim como você encontrará links para materiais relacionados ao assunto. Bons estudos and good luck! Next, Flex Inglês Lesson 6-3.